So, to the surprise of nobody, UConn and South Carolina win in the final 4 games, and they're going to be playing Sunday at 3. We'll talk about that. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do, so you get notified of our next video, and join us for Kit and Clark's crossover, which is every Monday and Thursday, 6 to 7 and 5:30 to 6:30, respectively, Eastern time, except for major holidays. It's like a sports reporters forum. We guest podcasters. We talk about Kit and Clark and things of that nature. So, Rob, we both predicted UConn and South Carolina to win, and they both won big. In fact, I said UConn's chance of winning the championship was 50%. South Carolina was 30%, in Texas, and UCLA's chances were like 15%. So this didn't surprise me at all. And in the game, Rob, we said basically that in order for them to have a chance to win, Madison Booker had to have a big game. And she started out 3 for 3 and then committed a foul and then committed a second foul. And that second foul, Rob, was really stupid. She bumped into the defender for no reason. Yeah. And as soon as she did that, I was doing it live. I said, the game's over with, Rob. And it was.
Yeah, I think you're right in that assumption, Mark. That after that second foul, that was just about over. And plus, they're, like we said in the game, like I said before, they're not hitting their threes. And it's just better defense. South Carolina is just a deep team.
That's right, Rob. And the thing is, I didn't even know who Jordan Lee was, but she actually kept him in the game a little bit. She had 3 threes, and she scored 16 points off the bench. But Madison Booker only ended up with 11 points, Rob. She only played 24 minutes because of those foul troubles. It was unfortunate, Rob. It was no surprise that they won. And then in the second game, Rob, I don't think it was a surprise that UConn won. They were favored. Weren't they favored? But they were favored. And
by 13. I think it was 13 or 15. I think.
Was it 14 and a half or something? And then maybe it came down to 13.
Yeah, something like that.
But they were clearly favored to UCLA, and they crushed UCLA, Rob. It didn't seem like it was ever a game. Did you get that impression? It was ever a game?
No. I mean, I already knew that. Like I said, UCLA did not impress me at all. And it came to form with the way their defense was horrible. I mean, they were jumping. They weren't playing position defense. I saw one where they did like a little handoff screen, and the girl went behind the screen, and then they popped it out to Strong with a wide open 3-point shot. I'm going, what are you doing on the defense? What are you doing? Right.
And I was surprised, Rob, that it was even easier than I thought.
Well, they didn't get back. They didn't get back on defense. They didn't stop the ball. So, I mean, overall, and they only had one. Like I said, Betts, she's only one. It was Betts. That's it.
Yeah, Betts actually had a good game, and she didn't get into foul trouble, Rob. She only had, she didn't have any. I'm sorry, she didn't have any fouls. She didn't have any fouls. And I thought that was the key for them staying in the game. As long as she didn't get in foul trouble, they at least had a shot to stay in the game. But they didn't even have a shot with her not getting in foul trouble. And well, of course, it didn't help that the other starters didn't score anything, Rob. 6 points, 0, 0, and 8 points. Gabriel Jackson was 0 for 6.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't hit those 3-pointers. Like I knew that was going to happen. I mean, they weren't going to hit those 2. That's the only way they would have made the game even close if they tried to hit their 3-pointers. But they couldn't hit the 3-pointers, and that was it.
They were 4 for 16, Rob. They weren't good. Anyways, so that's not a surprise. Now, Paige cooled off a little bit. She had 16 points, 7 for 17, 0 for 3 from threes, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, but 3 steals. She's playing good defense. So, and Sarah Strong, Rob, once again, Sarah Strong is a force. 9 for 13, 4 for 6 from threes, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block, 22 points, Rob. She's going to be a great, great player.
Well, only a freshman. Well, now she's not a freshman anymore, but I mean, only a freshman. I can only see. I think we were talking off the air about her even surpassing Juju Watkins as far as the primary player.
By the time Juju Watkins plays a full season again, Sarah Strong will be a junior that year. So she's going to have trouble being player of the year if she's going to have to compete with Sarah Strong 2 years from now. I will say that. And I'm not
I
saying
agree.
she won't still win it 2 years from now, but she'll be coming back from an injury. Sarah Strong of another year and a half of experience in there by that time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and AZ Fudd finally got hot. I said this, Rob, that she was due for a good game. So that's why I thought she was going to shoot well, because she had shot not very well the last 2 games. She was 7 for 12 and 3 for 5 and threes. And she scored 19 points and had 3 steals.
Yeah, she was a key. She was a key in that first half, first quarter. And if she gets going, I still predict South Carolina. But if Fudd starts hitting those shots like that, I think Connecticut could win it. But I'm still sticking with South Carolina.
I'm going with UConn, and I'm trying to root for someone besides UConn and South Carolina. But I think if those 2 teams are playing, Rob, I don't have a choice.
Yeah, I don't think you have a choice.
I don't like Dawn Staley. I don't want her to win. I like Paige. I just don't want her to win a championship, because I don't want to hear from the UConn Mafia, that she got a championship and Caitlin Clark didn't. That's what I want to hear. No. She's playing with Sarah Strong, the best freshman in the country, who's second-team All-American. Caitlin Clark played with no All-Americans. And AZ Fudd, who's not an All-American, but is a very good player. And so she's playing with more talent than Caitlin Clark. But I will say, and this South Carolina team is not as good as the 2 teams that Caitlin Clark had to go through the last 2 years. So
no, they're not, Mark. But like I said, they won a championship, so they're still the champions. So you got to beat them. And they had the freshmen last year, guard. So I really like the thing that saves them is their bench. That saves them. Edwards came off the bench and had a good game. So
she did play well,
that's
Rob.
what they need.
She's played well 2 games in a row, and we'll see what happens. She had 11 rebounds and 13 points and 6 assists. That's really 6 assists off the bench,
Yeah.
Rob. She played well 2 games in a row. So that will be a key. And Melissa Falwell played okay. She had 7 points. She was 3 for 7, 1 for 3, but 3 assists. But she can create her own shots, and nobody else can do that in women's basketball as well as she can. I will say that.
Pau kind of woke up, and she started hitting.
Yeah, Pau gets hot at the 3-point line, and they're in trouble. So, anyways,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the other side. If Pau gets hot shooting threes and they're pushing the ball up the court, I think it's going to be. Yeah. What do you think? What's the spread on this game? I think Connecticut's probably favored, right?
Oh, let's find out. I don't know. I did not look it up. I know they were both favored big in the Final 4 games, but I do not know. Let me just look it up. Let's see. Scores. Let's see. Connecticut 6.5, Rob. Connecticut favored by 6.5.
Wow.
So the Vegas at least is disagreeing with you, although Vegas does the odds based on how they think people are going to bet.
Yeah. And then ESPN's match predictor has Connecticut 57.1 and South Carolina 42.9.
Yeah, I could go.
I think that's way too. That's too big.
It's too big. UConn chances of winning or 57% is too high.
Yeah, that's too high. That's way too high.
That's only because you're picking South Carolina. I think it's too low. I think their chances of winning are like 2/3.
Over 60%.
Yeah, I think UConn's chances of winning this game are like around 2/3.
Okay, we will see.
Well, it doesn't mean they're going to win. I'm saying I think their chances.
I didn't say that. I just said we will see.
They're just playing too well, and they have bigger stars. South Carolina, like if they need a basket and it's going down the stretch, UConn has 3 people who can get them a basket.
They played 9 or 10 players, so there's no dominant player who's going to dominate. But you got kids. You got kids. Also in there. She plays. She didn't have a great game, but she's also a factor in there too.
Yeah, she scored 6 points last game though.
The other game she scored more than that. So she's a factor.
Right. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If Pau gets hot, that you never know. But she was 3 for 4 and 3. She can really hit the 3.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I'm still sticking with UConn. I want UCLA or Texas to win the championship, but they're gone, so I don't get that wish. Or Notre Dame. I wanted anyone but USC UConn or South Carolina. Any of those three teams. Those are the three teams I did want to win, and it looks like I'm going to get one of those teams. It looks
Yeah,
like well, it is. I am going to get one of those teams. So, anyways, yeah, I did. I
all
didn't.
right, we'll see. We'll see tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow. So yeah, so 3:00 tomorrow, I will live stream that. Hit that like button, and if you want, you can share it with your family, friends, and acquaintances. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that notification bell when you do, so you get notified of our next video. And join us for Caitlin Clark's crossover during our live show. It's Mondays 6 to 7 Eastern, and Thursdays 5:30 to 6:30, except for major holidays. And if you want, you can donate to this channel with super chats and super thanks down below. And there's a link to PayPal. We'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.